Welcome back to Old Studio Car, where we bring you detailed reviews of the cars that shaped the last couple of decades. Today, we're taking a close look at the 2010 Nissan Altima, a midsize sedan that managed to blend style, practicality, and performance in a way that made it one of Nissan's most successful models. Even more than a decade later, the Altima still holds up as a reliable option for used car buyers, so let's dive into everything from its exterior updates, performance, fuel economy, and even today's market price. The 2010 model carried forward the Altima's reputation as one of the more stylish and dynamic sedans in its segment. Nissan gave the Altima a mild exterior refresh for this model year, keeping it competitive against rivals like the Toyota Camry and Honda Accord. At first glance, the Altima's exterior feels both modern and timeless. The front fascia received a sleeker grille design, sharper headlights, and a slightly re-sculpted bumper that gave it a sportier edge. On the sides, smooth body lines flow toward the rear, making it look more aerodynamic compared to some of its boxier competitors. The rear end features redesigned tail lamps and subtle chrome accents, which add to the sedan's upscale presence. With the updated 16 or 17-inch alloy wheels, depending on the trim, the Altima really stood out as a car that didn't just aim to blend in. Even today, you can see why many buyers in 2010 considered it one of the best-looking sedans in its class. Moving on to performance, the 2010 Altima came with two main engine options. The base engine is a 2.5-liter four-cylinder producing 175 horsepower and 180 pound-feet of torque, paired with either a 6-speed manual or Nissan's continuously variable transmission, also known as CVT. For most drivers, this four-cylinder provided a good balance between power and efficiency. But for those wanting more excitement, Nissan offered a 3.5-liter V6 engine in the Altima 3.5 SR model, which delivered a strong 270 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque. That's quite a punch for a midsize sedan of its time, and it made the V6 Altima one of the quickest in the segment. With the V6, the car could sprint from 0 to 60 in just about 6.5 seconds, which is impressive considering this was a family-oriented sedan. Handling was another strong point for the Altima. The suspension was tuned to deliver a sporty feel without compromising too much on ride comfort. Steering felt responsive, and the car held its own well around corners, giving drivers confidence behind the wheel. Even the base four-cylinder model felt nimble for city driving, while the V6 really showed its strengths on highways and open roads. Speaking of highways, let's talk about maximum speed. The four-cylinder Altima was capable of reaching around 130 miles per hour, while the V6 could push closer to 145 miles per hour. Of course, most owners would never need to test those limits, but it shows that Nissan built this sedan with performance in mind. Fuel economy was another reason buyers flocked to the Altima. The 2.5-liter four-cylinder with CVT achieved an impressive EPA rating of around 23 miles per gallon in the city and up to 32 miles per gallon on the highway. That made it one of the more fuel-efficient midsize sedans of its time. The more powerful V6 still delivered respectable numbers, around 20 miles per gallon in the city and 27 on the highway, which was a solid trade-off for the extra performance. Even today, if you maintain the Altima well, you can expect similar real-world fuel averages, which keeps running costs fairly low. Now, let's touch on the pricing. Back in 2010, the Nissan Altima started at a base price of around $20,000 for the four-cylinder models, while the higher trims in the V6 models pushed closer to $25,000 to $28,000. Fast forward to today, in the used car market, you can typically find a 2010 Altima for anywhere between $5,000 to $8,000 depending on the trim, mileage, and condition. The V6 models in good condition might command a little more, but overall, it remains an affordable choice for buyers looking for a reliable and comfortable midsize sedan without breaking the bank. The 2010 Nissan Altima is a car that brought together stylish design, solid performance, impressive fuel economy, and good value for money. The mild exterior update gave it a fresh look at the time. The engines provided options for both efficiency-focused and performance-minded buyers, and the pricing made it accessible. More than a decade later, it still holds its own as a dependable used car option, especially for those who want a balance of comfort, reliability, and a touch of sportiness. That's all for today's review from Old Studio Car. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 2010 Nissan Altima, make sure to subscribe for more car reviews from the past that continue to matter today.